Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who is the architect of your mind? Not literally a person, but the force, the system, the hidden power behind every thought, every belief, every feeling you experience. Now imagine this architect is secretly running the show, designing your entire mental world with a hidden agenda that shapes your reality in ways you don't even realize. Sounds unsettling? Good. Because once you understand who this architect is and why it has this secret agenda, your whole perspective on yourself and your life will start to shift. So buckle up, because today we're going deep, beyond the surface of your conscious mind, into the mysterious blueprint that builds your mental reality. Who exactly is the architect of your mind? Let's get one thing clear. This architect isn't some external puppet master controlling your brain like a marionette. Instead, the architect is your brain's subconscious programming, the mental operating system built from your lifetime of experiences, beliefs, and habits. Think of your mind as a vast mansion. You see the rooms you live in, the thoughts you're aware of, the feelings you notice. But behind the walls, there's an unseen builder constantly remodeling, reinforcing, or tearing down walls without your conscious knowledge. This builder is your subconscious mind, or what neuroscience calls your default mode network, a complex system that runs automatic processes, shapes your mental models, and governs how you perceive reality. It's this system, the architect, that creates your sense of self, filters your experience, and runs your autopilot responses. Most of the time, you don't notice it. It operates quietly in the background. Why is it called an architect? Because just like an architect designs a building, this subconscious system designs your mental framework. It decides which ideas to keep, which fears to amplify, what stories to tell yourself, and which parts of reality to focus on. For example, if you grew up hearing, "You're not smart enough," the architect might have incorporated this into your mental blueprint as a limiting belief. Or if you learned early on to avoid conflict to stay safe, your architect builds protective walls of avoidance around your emotions. In short, your mind's architect is the invisible designer of your thoughts, emotions, memories, and self-image. The secret agenda. What is it? Now here's where things get interesting. The architect's agenda is not neutral. It has a secret goal to keep you safe, secure, and comfortable. This sounds great on paper. Who wouldn't want safety? But the problem is that safety often means staying in the familiar. Your brain's main priority is survival. It hates uncertainty, discomfort, and risk. So, the architect builds mental walls to protect you from perceived threats, whether those threats are real or imagined. It tells you, don't try that new job, you might fail. Or, stay quiet, you don't want to upset anyone. These mental barriers look like protection, but can actually be chains that hold you back from growth, joy, and freedom. How does this secret agenda work in everyday life? Every time you hesitate to speak up, every time you procrastinate, or every time you doubt your potential, you're feeling the architect's secret agenda in action. It manifests as your inner critic, your fears, your limiting beliefs. Your mind creates a narrative that convinces you the world is dangerous or that you're not capable, so you don't take risks. The architect's job is to keep you inside a safe zone, even if it's a cage. The rubber hand illusion. An experiment that shows how your mind can be tricked to understand how powerful this architect is. Let me explain an experiment that blew scientists away. It's called the rubber hand illusion. In this experiment, a person's real hand is hidden from view. In front of them, a rubber hand is placed on the table. Then, the experimenter simultaneously strokes the person's hidden real hand and the visible rubber hand. After a short while, the brain starts to accept the rubber hand as part of the body. The person literally feels touch sensations in the rubber hand. This shows that the architect, the brain's body map, is flexible and can be fooled into accepting false realities. Your mind creates your sense of self based on sensory input and mental models, but those models can be manipulated. If the architect can trick you into feeling a fake hand, Imagine how many invisible, fake beliefs and perceptions it has built inside your mind. The conversation you need to have with your architect. Here's the catch. Most people never realize this architect is working behind the scenes. They just take their thoughts and beliefs at face value, never questioning the hidden agenda. But what if you could have a conversation with this architect? Ask, why are you keeping me stuck? What are you protecting me from? When you do this, you start uncovering the fears and false stories hidden in your subconscious. You realize many mental blocks are just old survival strategies that don't serve your current life. If you think you're in full control of your mind, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet has some news for you. In the 1980s, Libet measured brain activity before voluntary movements. Surprisingly, the brain signals to move appeared before the person consciously decided to move. This suggests the subconscious architect initiates decisions before the conscious mind is aware. In other words, your sense of "I chose this" may be an after-the-fact story your mind tells itself. This discovery challenges our ideas about free will and shows how much control your subconscious mind wields. But there's hope. You can redesign your mental blueprint. The good news? You're not a helpless passenger. The architect's plans aren't set in stone. With awareness and intention, you can become the conscious architect of your own mind. You can rewrite old programming, build new mental models, and expand your sense of possibility. How to take control, observe your thoughts. Don't fight them, just watch. Awareness weakens automatic patterns. Ask why. Why do you believe what you do? What fear lies beneath? Create new stories. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Practice mindfulness. Meditation strengthens your conscious self. Challenge yourself. Try new things to stretch your mental boundaries. The architect's greatest trick, your identity. Your identity, the I am stories you tell yourself, is the architect's masterstroke. It simplifies the complex mind into neat labels. I am shy, I am uncreative, etc. But identity is fluid. It changes. When you recognize this, you realize you can update your I am stories anytime. That nagging voice telling you to stop procrastinating, that's your architect's lazy roommate who's also the landlord, making sure you don't burn out by binge-watching Netflix instead of working, but also making sure you don't leave the couch either. But guess what? You're the CEO of this mental company, and it's time to fire the lazy roommate. Okay, why does this matter to you? Because when you understand this, you stop being trapped by your mind's secret agenda. You gain freedom to create new beliefs, new habits, and a new reality. You become the master architect of your mind. The architect of your mind is not an enemy. It's a guardian trying to protect you. But sometimes protection turns into limitation. Knowing this truth gives you the power to choose what mental structures to keep and which to tear down. Your mind's architecture is your creation. You have the blueprints. You hold the power.